Welcome to Dave's Think Tank. In my most recent video, I showed you how you can use the relays in your Geeteoh soundboard to add a strobe light to your flash Gordon. Since then, a couple things have happened, I've learned a few things, and I've got some notes to add to that video. First of all, I should have mentioned that the relays on the Geeteoh board supply 12 volts of power. So if you buy a strobe, it should be a 12 volt strobe. You can use other voltages, but it's a little more complicated. Secondly, I said in my earlier video that strobe lights on the market sell for about $200. It was pointed out to me that Big Daddy Electronics has an exact replacement for the original Flash Gordon strobe light for $150, and a smaller LED version which sells for $50. I should also point out that 150 US is 200 Canadian, so that's where I got that number from. Thirdly, and most important, it occurred to me that you can actually build a strobe for your Flash Gordon out of spare parts you probably have lying around the house. This may be the option for you if you don't have a Geeteoh board. Although, if you have a Flash Gordon and you don't have a Geeteoh board, you really should get one. You've probably noticed this loose connector in your Backbox, hanging here, not connected to anything. This used to run the strobe light that flashed through this hole, lighting up Flash's Planet logo on the glass. There are 4 wires running into it. Pins 1 and 3 carry about 120 volts and are unnecessary for this project. The 2 pins we need are pins 7 and 8. Pin 8 supplies 5 volts, and pin 7 goes to the auxiliary lamp driver board, J3 pin 18, making the big trek all the way from here over to here. It's through this orange line that the pinball tells the strobe when to flash. But that means that this can be used just like any other lamp on your playfield. You can take an ordinary lamp, plug it into these 2 pins, and it'll strobe. Or you could take, say, 4 of these ordinary lamps, place them around the hole, facing inward, wire them together, wire them to these 2 pins, and you've got your strobe light. I improved on this basic idea a bit and built this out of parts I had just lying around. All you need to do is cut a circle out of a 1/2-inch board, size it to fit the strobe hole, drill 4 1/2-inch holes for your lamps, and I used this style of lamp rather than this, just because there's an awful lot going on the back here and it keeps the clutter down. So next, solder the bases of the 4 lamps together in the middle, and then connect the 4 outer case connectors with wires. Add a green wire to the middle, the base connectors, and an orange wire to the outer connectors. These colors are going to match the Backbox connector colors to prevent confusion in hooking it up. So next, take an ordinary connector and clip a couple of pins off it. And you're going to solder the wires to it. I added some heat shrink tubes to hold the connection better and to make sure the wires never touch if they should come loose someday. Next, you add a couple of screws to hold everything down and in place. I added an additional screw here, which can be used to pull the unit out of the hole instead of pulling on the wires. Then fit 4 LED bulbs on the other side, and you're ready to go. So at this point you should do a quick test on your soldering skills. If all went well, the pin connected to the green wire should be connected to the center post on each of these lamps. The pin connected to the orange wire should be connected to the outer shell of each lamp. So get your multimeter, set it on continuity. We have continuity. We get a beep. So green line. Green line should connect to the center post. Good. 2, 3, 4. And it should not connect to the outer casing. Good. And the red line should connect to the 4 outer casings. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it should not connect to the center pillar. Oops. Okay. I'll hold it properly. Nothing, 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 nothing. Okay. Everything checks out. So, let's give it a try. I fitted it with 4 red LED bulbs, but you can use whatever color you want, or switch it up as often as you want. I should mention though, they should be LED bulbs. The auxiliary lamp driver here is rated for 2 incandescent bulbs per line. I don't know what happens if you were to put 4 number 44 bulbs in here, but at the very least it would wear out the SCR. Okay, so we'll fit this into the hole. And I would normally add something here to hold it in place, but it's staying there pretty snug. Now take green and orange lines, plug them into the green and orange lines on the plug. Actually, I don't know why, but they made the 120 volt also green and orange. So just make sure you don't plug it into this end, only plug it into this end. Okay, let's turn it on, see what happens. It works. And let's start a game. It should strobe. Hey, there it goes. So, pros and cons of our 2 strobes. I was surprised to find that the light was always on, turning off 4 or 5 times when signaling to strobe. I like it this way, lighting up the Planet logo all the time. The Geeteoh is always off until it strobes, so depending what you prefer, this could be a pro or con for either. I like the look of the 4 lights, but I do prefer the look of the strobe I bought for the Geeteoh. The timing of the original strobe is, well, it's a little boring. It blinks at the start of a game and when you fall in the up-down kicker. The Geeteoh provides several options, but in either case you can't make any changes to what's been set for you. And finally, this strobe can be changed up with any color of LEDs, where the purchased strobe is what it is. Of course, there's always the option to use our homemade strobe with the Geeteoh. As I mentioned earlier, the Geeteoh supplies 12 volts and this is 5 volts, so it is a little more complicated. You have to take pin 8, the green line, to supply 5 volts, put it into your strobe, and instead of using pin 7 out, run a single wire back to the negative terminal of one of the Geeteoh relays. A little more complicated, not that bad. We need to see this new strobe in action. Let's play a game.
Very roughly 14 seconds. Very roughly 14 seconds. Oh dear, how pathetic.